Oh, welcome to Review Rewind, the show where a couple of friends watch movies of old and aim to figure out if the reviewers were spot on or a little off. We're your hosts. I'm Mike.
And I'm Tristan.
And this week, we're talking about, I don't have music for it, The Fast and the Furious. Because the one that everyone associates with The Fast and the Furious, the ching, 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 ching. What's it called? I don't remember what it's called. It's from the second movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so this movie, I was trying to figure out, I'm like, oh yeah, what's the song that like really like rips for, no, this one doesn't have it.
It didn't really feel like it had like its own sound yet.
Yeah, agreed. Also, because I think they were banking on Ja Rule being kind of like a big part of it, and this movie moved me to realize I've never liked Ja Rule ever. I think his music is terrible. He might be okay at rapping. He is a bona fide terrible singer. Just awful. So, now that I've bashed Ja Rule, he's not going to come after me. Whatever. Tristan, how you doing?
At least not today. I'm doing pretty good. I have recovered from some dental procedures that I had
That's right.
Messed up my face and my mouth, but I'm good now.
Yeah, that's usually what dental procedures do.
Yeah, make things worse to make them better or something like that.
Yeah, you know, like life.
Yeah,
there's something there. I don't know.
How are you doing?
I am exhausted. I'm so tired. Like there was a point at work today where I was just sitting and I just like took a deep breath in and I was suddenly like, how am I awake right now? How am I doing this? Because I think I'm running out of gas.
But the other day I drove a lot. And then when I got home, I didn't want to get out of the car. I was just like, I can sleep right here.
Yeah, I've had those days. But with that all said, break is almost here, and I'll be okay. I'll be okay. Anywho, this movie is directed by Rob Cohen, and I have all my windows in the wrong friggin' place.
How embarrassing.
I know. What a noob trying to put together a real classy show here. Okay, Rob Cohen, he did
three episodes of Miami Vice.
He did The Legend of Billie Jean.
Dragonheart.
He was an executive producer. Hold on, let's see.
He also did Dragon, the Bruce Lee story.
Yeah, that one. Actually, I don't remember if that was good or not. I remember seeing it.
He also directed Triple X.
That's right. Mm-hmm. Stealth.
Stealth. The Mummy. Tomb of the Dragon Emperor.
Yeah, let's clarify that. Number 3.
The one that we don't talk about.
The one that we don't, even though we should, because Jet Li's in it. And that's pretty cool. He also did Alex Cross, where Tyler Perry was like, you know what? I'm going to be cool and serious. I don't think people thought that.
No.
The Boy Next Door.
Not a lot of.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
He's coming out with something called Speed Hunters.
Oh, yeah. I wonder if they hunt like the drug speed or if they're hunting the experience of going fast.
The description here is a colorful team of racers and crew get caught in high intrigue around a revolutionary technology threatening to change the world as we know it. Kind of sounds like an off-brand Fast and Furious.
Like if Fast and Furious was like... No, it sounds like if he started on like Fast 10 and was like, this is where I'm going to start the franchise. All right. Produced by Neal Moritz. Screenwritten Gary Scott Thompson, Erik, Bergquist, David Ayer. That's where he got all the street talk. He had to have done dialogue. It had to have been dialogue. I'm sure someone will have some details of it. It is a Universal Pictures production. Neal Moritz Productions as well. Original Film Productions. Rated PG-13 for language, violence, and sexual content. Action adventure. Release date June 22nd, 2001. It had a budget of $38 million, only $38 million. It grossed in the U.S. $144 million and grossed worldwide almost $208 million. And it made its budget back on opening weekend.
Whoa.
So it did well.
That's crazy.
Starring Vin Diesel, Paul Walker, Michelle Rodriguez, Jordana Brewster, Rick Yune, Chad Lindberg, Johnny Strong, and Ted Levine. Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm sure he was, but like this is definitely going off of the like Pitch Black and like those Vin Diesel movies, right? That's like riding on the coattails of that.
I actually think this was
or is
first.
Is this what started it all?
Yeah, he was definitely in a few movies, definitely in a smaller role. He wasn't like a new actor, but I don't think he had had such big starring roles yet. Let's see. Awakenings 90, let's see. Right before would have been 99. He was his major. Oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah, Pitch Black came
Pitch
out
Black was the year before.
Which, for those of you that don't know, that's the first Chronicles of Riddick movie.
Yep. Prior to that, he was in the Boiler Room or Boiler Room.
He was the
Iron Giant. Yeah. Which might be just connecting the dots a little. Might be the next one we watch simply because I had heard recently that it was a flop. But I always remember loving it. So I'm very curious. I don't remember the last time I watched it. So
it's been a long time. I think I was a kid when I last watched it, but I've heard a lot of people talking good things about it recently.
Yeah. Well, Brad Bird.
Yeah.
But he was in Saving Private Ryan. I do remember that. And then Pitch Black. And then after that, it was just a boom. Now, Chronicles of Riddick or Pitch Black was considered it pretty good for its time and everything. What do we got for money? It's all about the money.
All about the money.
Bombed. $23 million budget, grossed $40 million in America, 53 total worldwide. So it bombed.
This is what we get for making original movies.
So I would say Fast and the Furious is what catapulted.
Yeah.
Wow, that's
Sounds
crazy.
like it.
Yeah.
But I think that movie had enough of a following is why they brought it back for...
Well, you know what's crazy is, just speaking on Fast and Furious, so Pitch Black had a sequel with Vin Diesel in it before the Fast and the Furious did. Because even though he was technically in Tokyo Drift, he didn't come back until 2009.
Yeah, and
there were...
He didn't come back until Fast and Furious.
Right. Which was 2009.
The naming schemes of this franchise is so confusing.
I'm going to tell you this right now. It never gets easier.
No, I don't expect
even when they start doing the numbers, you're like, oh, what city is this one in? Which one is this?
Yeah.
All righty. And now we poorly transition into the recap rewind. This is where one of us gives you a recap, and hopefully you get a glimpse of what the movie is. Also, I don't know what our audience is still. Where are these people who've watched this or people who want to watch? I don't know. Anyway.
Yeah. Tell us if you've watched it or if you haven't watched it.
Anyway. When you think of the Fast and Furious saga, you think fast cars, explosions, and cool people making it happen. Or you probably think family. But it wasn't always that way. In fact, a series that basically has a demigod stopping a techno-terrorist or stealing a lot of money from a Brazilian cartel is a fever dream of where it all started. We set up the story with a semi-truck getting robbed by 3 really fast cars with green LED lights. We are racing through and then we cut to a car racing through the parking lot in Dodger Stadium, and we meet a beautiful blonde man with the absolute bluest eyes I've ever seen. We learn quickly that this blonde beauty is Brian Spillner. Spillner. Paul Walker, who works for the local performance racing shop. He has the hots for a local market deli worker named Mia, Jordana Brewster, who just so happens to be siblings with the greatest street racer in L.A., Dominic Toretto, Vin Diesel. After a scuff with Dominic's crew, Brian works to prove himself by getting into a street race. Against all odds, Brian loses. But before Brian can walk away in shame, the cops come and break up the race. Dom gets his car into a parking garage and tries to make a getaway on foot, but is immediately recognized because, duh. With no other options, he runs. Running into an alleyway with no way out, Dom is ready to face the 4-0, but is picked up by the Brian-O. Brian is able to drift through the streets of L.A. and evade the cops. On their way to safety, they are stopped by a rival gang led by Johnny Tran, Rick Yune, and led to a parking lot. Pleasantries are exchanged, and then Johnny and his gang shoot up Brian's car to the point that it explodes. Dom and Brian share a moment of respect and both walk their separate ways. Dom has a change of heart and invites Brian back to his place for a beer. Brian agrees, and they make their way to Dom's house. There, a party has begun with some techno-rock music, some sexy ladies, and the guy who started the fight with Brian earlier, his name's Vince. He's playing a guitar solo over the techno-rock song at the party, which is very cool. Dom returns, realizing that no one is looking for him, and the only person who saved him was this white boy, Brian. Dom makes Vince look foolish, and Brian is vindicated. Dom's partner, Letty, Michelle Rodriguez, diffuses the situation by taking Dom out of the room. But before she does, Dom reminds Brian that he owes him a 10-second car. Mia hangs out with Brian, and the night ends with Brian having the attention of both Mia and Dom. What a king. Brian brings a beat-up car to Dom's shop that will probably work once fixed. We are then introduced to other members of the crew. We meet the whiz kid Jesse, Chad Lindberg, who designs Brian's car. We meet, there's another guy, but they don't really give him a backstory, so we don't really care who he is. Around this time, it is revealed that Brian is actually a cop looking for some racers who have been swiping millions of dollars of DVD players. Remember DVD players, kids? When DVD players were huge and expensive? I want to kill myself. Anyway, the cops believe that it's Dom, but Brian isn't so sure. Some evidence leads to two other gangs that could be involved. As time passes, Brian grows a deeper relationship with Mia and gains the trust of Dom. But the feds are starting to pressure Brian to get results, even though there's no clear evidence. The feds pressure Brian to spy on Johnny, where there is a lot of circumstantial evidence, but nothing solid. They arrest Johnny and come to find out that everything was on the up and up. The feds blame Brian and hint that if the racing robbers try again, they will either get caught or get killed. And all of this leads to race wars. But something happens that no one expects. Jesse races his car as collateral against Johnny Tran, and Jesse loses. In shock, Jesse drives away. This begets a fight between Dom and Johnny, leading to Dom and the other guys doing something one person short. Brian realizes that he has to confront Mia about this. He reveals he's a cop and that he has to stop Dom. Not to arrest him, but to save his life. They're able to find Dom and the crew trying to stop a semi that is shooting at them. Vince gets shot and Brian saves him. Brian reveals to Dom that he is a cop by calling for emergency aid for Vince. Dom and the crew drive away while Brian makes sure that Vince is evacuated. Brian drives to Dom's house where Dom is ready to find Jesse with a gun. Jesse shows up and diffuses the situation, but is immediately killed by a drive-by shooting committed by Johnny. Brian and Dom chase after them, ending in Brian shooting Johnny. He then races Dom, who gets in a car accident. Before the cops can come arrest Dom, Brian gives him the keys to his own car, and Dom gets away, thus starting the saga we all know and love. Yeah, so I know the ending felt I felt like that one was a little more somber, but I think that was not somber, but not as jokey, because as we're about to talk about this, I came into this movie with a certain expectation, and I left the movie with a different understanding.
Yeah,
with that expectation. So, to be perfectly transparent, I remember this film being dog shit. Like, I remember, I have memories talking about the Fast and Furious saga and telling people you don't have to watch the first one. Because I remember it being bad. And while this movie does have cringe moments where stuff is very dated, like early 2000s, late 90s dated.
It's super 2000.
Super, yeah. There's something really endearing about this movie. Like, there's a lot. The acting wasn't as bad as I thought it was, or remember it was. Even some of the dialogue wasn't too bad. The direction, the cinematography was better than I remember. And overall, the plot was a lot better than I remember it. As an idea of, like, we are introducing the world to these characters with no idea of what the future holds, with no world building, no expectations. It's pretty good.
It was literally this movie that had nothing to it. It was just like, hey, let's do this movie about fast cars and furious people.
Yeah. And I remember it ending going like, that, I like that movie way more than I remember I did.
Well, let me tell you.
How about yourself?
I've never seen this movie until
there you go.
This viewing, and it had kind of become a movie of I don't intend to watch it. I don't really want to watch it. It just looks dumb, and I don't care. Like that. That's just kind of where I've been. So I was a little mad because there's a part of me that had kind of like, because it's become such a huge franchise, there's a part of me that was like, no, I'm just going to not watch this movie, and I'm going to kind of choose not to watch it. So I was a little bit mad that you made me watch it, and then I watched it, and now I'm mad because I enjoyed it. I'm like, and it took me forever to like process how I thought about what I felt about this movie.
Right.
Because I came into it, I mean, similarly to you, of like, I was not expecting it to be good. I was expecting it to just be like a pretty trash movie.
I think I besmirched it when I told you we were going to watch it. Like, I think I remember saying it's bad.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't remember if maybe you did.
I didn't. But I certainly didn't say something positive about it. I know that for sure.
And I've been in houses where one of the movies has been playing, but I've never actually like actively watched them before. So I always expected it to be just dumb trash. And then I got to the end of it. And like, let me tell you this, Gloria was not going to watch it with me. She normally watches the movies with me. And she was like, I don't want to watch it. It was like 9:00 when I started it. And she's like, I'm probably just going to head to bed. So go ahead and start it. It doesn't matter. 30 minutes in, she was fully awake. She was sitting next to me. I'm pretty sure she got some popcorn and was fully invested and watched the whole thing with me. And at the end, she was like, I guess I enjoyed that. So
I think this now has a special place in my heart because I do like Krista loves the other ones, but I think there is a caveat of we're willing to admit we're going to watch any of them except for the Rock standalone one. Because maybe as a former WWE fan and like a Rock fan, this feels weird to say, but kind of screw Dwayne Johnson. Like, he kind of seems like a piece of crap. So, like, with that being said, we had this real big connection with this franchise. And then, let me lay it like this. When Krista went into labor with our first child, I brought the Fast and Furious movies because that's what she wanted to watch to like chill her out. With that said, watching this, I think I have a newfound appreciation for it because like the joke I wrote in the beginning of a demigod fighting techno terrorists and Brazilian cartels and stuff. That's kind of where we're at now.
Yeah.
Dom Toretto is a superhero.
It's gotten out of hand. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. This super for how ridiculous it is at sometimes, is so grounded.
It's
very grounded. And there's some real stakes because they've done the they've done the like superhero thing where people don't actually die. Hell, even Paul Walker didn't die necessarily. Like they still finished the movie with his brother and all that. Like, but this movie, there were like stakes. There were high stakes. We didn't have this presence of the invincibility of Dom or the untouchableness of his crew or whatever it might be, because I don't know, just starting a story from scratch. Because like
Yeah.
I don't remember getting so connected with Jesse. Like I had a lot of empathy and a lot of feeling for Jesse.
Mm-hmm.
So when he died, it was really impactful.
Yeah.
And partially the joke of the other guy, what's his character's name? The Levine guy. Where is it? Oh, no, not Levine. Sorry.
Yeah,
That's not him.
Sergeant Tanner.
Yeah. Which he's great. It's funny seeing him.
Leon?
Is it Leon? Yeah. Leon,
Yeah.
like, it's almost like, as though Leon, Johnny Strong. It's almost as though they didn't give him that much character development so that they could give more character development to Jesse so that you feel empathy for him and connect to him. Because they were like, Leon's going to be fine.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's actually, like, I didn't think about it, but it's true. Like, Letty
Gets
she's
it.
important, so she gets a lot of stuff. Jesse, he's important, so he gets a lot of screen time. Vince is important, so he gets a lot of screen time. And then there's Leon, who's just
And
there.
Leon is just the gopher. Like, he's just he's kind of a toss away character, but he still fits in the group. But you also don't care that much. But it was just interesting because they had that scene with Jesse where Brian was kind of picking his brain about the technology stuff and was like, you can go to MIT, and you can really see it on Brian's face of, which it was a directorial choice, but Brian's face of like, oh, this kid's pretty cool. Like, this kid's pretty amazing.
Mm-hmm.
How do I feel about that? Because I'm spying on them, but this kid's pretty great. And I feel like you almost feel more connected to Jesse because of how Brian sees him, not necessarily how Dom sees him.
Mm-hmm.
Because I say that because there's a couple weird plot things that I disagree with the choice. I understand why they do it, but I disagree with the choice. And we can talk about it with what we didn't like about the movie. But what are some things that you liked about the movie?
Yeah. I think like I said before, it took me a while to figure out how I actually felt about this movie. So the things that I like about it is actually the analysis that I had of it. On surface level, we'll get it out of the way. The cars are cool.
Cars are cool. Cars are kind of always cool, but their cars are really cool.
Yeah. But what, like, the deeper thought that I had about this movie was I went in expecting it to be a movie about a criminal's redemption, because not having seen it, but knowing that, like, the future movies are them working together and then them being hired, like, blah, blah, blah. Like, I know these things. So I was like, oh, the criminals get redeemed and then kind of become this thing. But it's actually a cop's descent into the world of crime while still not betraying his morals. Like, at the end, Brian does the wrong thing as a cop, but he's actually doing because he feels connected to these people and he's seeing them. And that brings me to my next point of this movie works because it is so relatable. It's so grounded. It's real people, or it feels like real people. Like, even though it's doing something that none of us have ever done before,
right?
Like, it is the common person,
right?
And it's not like other movies that are similar to this. You have the cops are right and they're the good guys and the criminals are the bad guys. Or you would have the inverse movie where the criminals are the bad guys, but they're the ones who we're going along with and we see them as bad. And that's a more modern take on making movies, is that we're just being thrown into the descent of into evil and into the crime or whatever. And so when I use the word descent in the case of Brian, it's not that he becomes like a bad guy, but he starts seeing the flaws of being law enforcement and what he was forced to do. And then this movie focuses on the hardships of coming from like a social caste that's different from where Brian is from. It's even the viewing audience. It's either relatable for some people or it's like, oh, this is a side that I've never seen before. And it's ultimately about a white guy learning about the other side and like learning about a culture that he's not necessarily familiar with. And that not everything is black and white. It's not like good versus evil. It's not cops versus criminals. Like there is this connection that he has with Dom of like, yeah, Dom's a criminal, but like the story that he tells makes Brian connect with him in a way of like, oh, I see how you ended up going to jail. Like I understand how you got to this place. And so it's just a really interesting and like, yeah, I just did a deep dive into why this movie works, but I get the hype for it. And I think that's why I like it is because I get it now where before I never totally understood it. But yeah, I think I like it. What I like best about it is that it's somehow still relatable in a way that you connect with the characters.
Right. Hearing you describe it, and I'm wondering if you can maybe suss this out with me. This is the origin story of a modern day Robin Hood. Not Dom being Robin Hood, but Brian. Now, Robin Hood was a nobleman who then becomes, part of the people. He kind of leaves his title to join the people to do whatever it is they do. That sounded so dismissive. I'm just a quick. And this feels like the step into how a Robin Hood would be that, because like eventually they steal from the rich and do give to the poor. Like they do pad their pockets, but they do give to the poor. And it's this weird thing where like, yeah, there is no good guy or bad guy except for Johnny Tran. That guy sucks. Like that guy's a bad guy. And I guess in the scope of the story, he gets what he deserves. But Dom is quote unquote a criminal. One, because of physically beating the man who killed his father. But because of race, I guess, they treat him as though he did it out of nowhere.
Right.
Which they, the cops kind of give that perspective. But even though Dom is this quote unquote criminal and he is committing a crime, he's stealing. Like, ultimately, he's not a bad guy. He's kind of a good guy. Like he seems like a genuinely good man who cares about the people around him. He just has this itch to get rich this one way. And it sounds like it's their retirement plan. Like he's like, we do this one time and we're done. We're not doing it anymore. Which I think, goes against the complete like criminal mastermind or
we're going to continue doing it because we have to get more.
but then also like particularly the feds. The feds are kind of the bad guys because yeah, they suck. They're not good. So throughout the film, the feds are pressuring Brian to almost create evidence.
Yeah.
That's what it feels like. It almost feels like they're pressuring to create evidence, and he's beginning he idolized this system because he wants to be in FBI. He wants to move ahead. He wants to grow in his profession. And the deeper he goes, the more he sees how broken the system is. And the more he doesn't like what he sees, or he's really faced with the juxtaposition of these are the people who say they're the good guys, but they're kind of doing it the wrong way. And here's this really, really good guy who is trying to take care of his family the wrong way. Which one is worse? And that's where the scale is. The scale that Brian is faced with is which one is morally bankrupt?
Yeah.
And I think as the story goes, you find the authority is the one that is morally bankrupt when Dom, like, I don't think they ever say he's like hurting the semi drivers, the truck drivers. I don't think they ever hurt anyone per se.
Yeah, I think they
knock him out.
They knock him out, but they don't.
Yeah, they don't hurt him.
Do more than that. Yeah,
and there's that conundrum, but yeah, I like that idea because, ironically, I'm a teacher, but I, in myself, have my own issue with the idea of authority or law enforcement, whatever it might be. And I like that this feels like a sobered view of what it could be. Even though it's a movie, it's all exaggerated. Like, you know, we would hope that that isn't how most of these things look. Statistics could argue otherwise, but I'm going to try to say that in that way. I like that he is really questioning this and questioned by, because how the crimes are spread out with Dom. It doesn't seem as though he really likes it or does it for the chase of it or whatever. You know, they never show that. At least we see the first we see the robbery we're first introduced to. There's no excitement. There's no reveal. There's no anything. And then at this one, the last one that we see kind of fully is everyone has a horrible feeling about it. Everyone feels real bad trying to do it without Jesse. And no one seems very stoked about it. So there's this weird, like, humanizing thing where, like, I don't know, most of the crimes people depict in movies, either they're stoked about it or at least they're ready for it. And this one, it feels like no one wanted to do it. So there's this, I don't know if that's them going to the good side or whatever, or they just, you know, movie magic. They had a bad feeling. They had a gut feeling, whatever it is. But even they were kind of like, we don't really want to do this anymore.
Yeah.
So it feels like the bad guys were going closer to the morally good side and the good guys were going further into the morally bad side.
Yeah. I wasn't expecting for this movie to cause me to have, like,
did you cry?
No, I mean, I didn't. I didn't cry. I just wasn't expecting to get to the end of this movie and then be like, "Huh, the commentary that this movie is making is really deep and, like, thoughtful." But like, it is on a surface level, it's not. It's just a movie about fast cars and like that kind of thing. But actually, it's a very like thought-provoking story that's being told.
Agreed.
If you give yourself a moment to actually think about it.
Agreed. Absolutely. I had to put a pop filter on because I could hear myself breathing in the mic. Anyway, how about how the movie was made? Was there anything that popped out to you that you enjoyed?
I think I struggled catching some of these things because it was my first time watching it.
Right.
And when I was taking one of my film classes, one of my teachers like talked about how when you watch movies, you like watch it once for the sake of watching it, and then you watch it again for analysis. And I think because this was my first time watching it, I didn't get as deep into the analysis.
Right.
The things that stuck out in the filmmaking to me were the things that were like, oh, that's really dated. Or like the way that they made the intensity of them driving fast, I don't think was good, but I think it was a really interesting way of doing it for the time that they did it.
Right. The pacing of it, especially within the racing, was intriguing. Was it the best way? No, but I also think Gone in 60 Seconds was like 99, maybe. There were a bunch of movies around this time that were coming out that were kind of all in the same boat of criminal or good guy criminal driving fast cars.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know what the order is, but I also know they were trying to figure out the best way to film all this stuff.
Yeah.
And they definitely get better as it goes along. The directors figure it out with the technology getting better. But for its time, it's at least interesting. At minimum, it's interesting.
Yeah.
There's a lot of hate about it. But it is interesting. I do give it credit for interesting. One of the aspects I liked about it is LA.
Yeah.
Like Los Angeles has a life in this movie. Partially because you see lots of different parts of LA. Dodger Stadium, I'm wearing, a World Series sweater and hat. Like I was born in LA. And where we lived was 10 minutes from Dodger Stadium. So kind of the driving, where they're driving is somewhat the area where I grew up.
Yeah.
And there's something really unique to this particular movie and the Fast and Furious saga that really brings LA into the spotlight in a way that isn't Hollywood. This isn't the Hollywood part. This isn't the Beverly Hills neighborhoods. This isn't Malibu or anything like this. This is a regular street with a house that was built in 1920, 1930. That was very LA. Funny enough, I suppose it's supposed to be like a Latino family, Toretto, all that stuff. But like it's Dominic Toretto, Vin Diesel, who is racially ambiguous at best. Mia, so they're whatever, and then like a bunch of the white kids that hang around them. But there's still like it doesn't feel disingenuous. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And I guess that's where like some of it is really cool. That I like it, going off of the city topic, but like a lot of the characters are characters, but somehow they're not really disingenuous. Like Hector just feels like a cousin of mine. Edwin's Ja Rule's character, even though he was really obnoxious, he wasn't like all that crazy of a character. it felt like they got actors who kind of understood the world.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, maybe this is oddly enough. I think the white characters are the ones who were more caricatures than some of the other characters.
Right.
Like the people of color, I think they felt more normal than like Jesse and Leon and Vince.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, Vince was
fashion,
like that super over the top, like I'm the tough white guy, and like
and then Jesse was the nerdy guy, and then Leon was, I don't know, cultural appropriation. Like I don't know exactly what, but also not, because at that point in time in the 2000s, like nu metal was a thing where it was, you know, a lot of Caucasian people were the ones who were leading that, but it was a mix of heavier rock with hip hop. Like there was a connection between it, and that existed, and that was, you know, I guess you could say they appropriated some of the fashion and different things like that, but there was a connection there. Oh, you know what? Now I'm so curious. The Fast and the Furious 2001 soundtrack. I'm just very curious what do we got here? Okay, so we do have some just hip hop artists, because Ja Rule, he had a bunch of that. Nate Dogg, Fat Joe. Ja Rule did a lot. Ashanti, R. Kelly. Never mind. Apparently on the soundtrack was Rollin', the Limp Bizkit song, which that's kind of the idea of, not the idea, that's the weird way to put it, but that concept of character. Like Leon just felt like Fred Durst to me. And in some ways that felt a little like forced. I don't want to say disingenuous, but forced. But like Dominic's, his overly stoic exterior felt like a character thing, not a caricature. Brian felt kind of like a normal character. He just felt like a very eager, trusting guy. Like that's just kind of what he was. Mia felt very normal. Letty, she had the tough woman exterior. I think the thing that was most weird about, or the weirdest part about Letty, was her fashion. Like the big old flame boots with like, and you know what? Maybe that was a thing. Apparently I have blocked out so many things from the 2000s that when I saw that, I was like,
the fashion in this movie is like, whoa.
Did we really dress like that?
Yeah.
You know who felt like a caricature, and maybe you could sway me off of this. Sergeant Tanner. Like he felt like that, you know, the cop you kind of hate or like or find whatever middle ground, but it was almost like, what was the thing Brian said to him? Even the Hollywood cops are Hollywood, or something like that. He just felt like an odd character, where there were some points where I'm like, are you really a cop? Like, are you really a detective?
Yeah. I mean, I feel like that for like all of the law enforcement that we saw, really. I mean, like there's him, and then there's the FBI agent.
Which he was just kind of like a gruff,
and it was
no crap kind of guy.
Is to be the guy who's like, this is what I need you to do.
Right.
Just do it.
Right.
And like, that's what he was. But that's there's no nuance to either of their characters.
Agent Bilkins.
Yeah.
Bilkins.
And I feel like the other characters had the nuance of being real people,
Yeah.
or at least a version of real people.
Yeah.
But those two were just like, okay, I'm the cop, like
Right.
I'm the FBI agent, and I am this like overly gruff, like no nonsense kind of guy. And then the other guy's like, hey man, we got to work with the FBI here. You got to work with me.
Right.
Blah, blah, blah.
Right. Yeah.
So,
and there weren't too many other characters that like stood out. Some of the background characters were okay at best in their acting abilities and what have you, but
I would say that that Johnny Tran's group was very much just like, hey, you're the bad gang, so
Right.
do that.
Right.
But the main group of people,
But Rick Yune he was Johnny Tran. He did an
Yeah.
excellent job because he felt bad, like mean, like bad.
Yeah.
Like you were immediately like, this guy's kind of a bad dude. And it was just interesting to see how that character grew in his own. Yeah. I actually liked a lot of the characters. I thought they were really endearing. Yeah. Anything else?
no, I think we
All right.
hit a lot of those things.
Things I didn't like. They tried to pack so much plot into this friggin' story that it just kind of got confusing sometimes, or it negatively affected the growth of a character. My main example of that is that Jesse just signed a death wish by driving away, but instead of rescuing him, his friend, this guy who is apparently like family and all of this stuff, Dom goes and tries to rob the thing anyway.
Yeah.
And then after his other friend almost dies, then goes, oh, I got to go find him.
Yeah.
Which I'm like, hey, you guys were in LA. That semi-truck race was 2 hours away. It's where I grew up, so I know how far that is. It's about 2.5 hours away.
Mm-hmm.
And you're trying to tell me that they were in, Race Wars was in the desert. It was in Coachella.
Mm-hmm.
And that's right around where that 10 freeway is, where they did the robbery.
Mm-hmm.
So there's that. But then they drove 2.5 hours back to LA, and that's when he decides to go looking.
Yeah, and all he knows is that Jesse's back in the desert.
In the desert.
Yeah.
That's bonkers. That's so bonkers. That's crazy. That was enough of a plot hole where I was just like, I think we're trying to fit too much into this. Maybe I'm wrong on this, but
I think the end is where it felt really congested. Like
Yeah.
they tried to put so much in the end part that it was like, okay, we're going from the big race that everybody was talking about, which didn't play as big of a part as we thought it would. And then they're doing the truck heist.
right.
And then the truck heist goes south. And now all of a sudden we're back in LA and it feels like things might be coming to a close. And nope, there's a whole other issue that we have to take care of. And then like they chase down
Right.
Johnny Tran. And then like it
Like they
Yeah,
could have
it was-
spread the Johnny Tran and Jesse thing could have been spread out a little more.
Mhm.
Like I get the idea of it because you want to, what's the catalyst for Johnny doing the drive-by or whatever? And how do you get Jesse specifically in that situation? But they could have spread it out a little. maybe like it being the next day or something. But it just feels like it was the same afternoon.
Yeah.
And so everyone just rushed back to LA and conveniently just found themselves in the same place at the same time. It warrants a lot of disbelief to make that work together. It's just convoluted. It's just congested. Congested is a great word for it. So that's my biggest that's like my biggest qualm of the end. It's so congested, so much is happening. A lot of it is good. I don't think any of those story points are bad. It's just you have created a setting where you have home base being like Chinatown, LA, or Koreatown, close to Koreatown. It's close to Dodger Stadium. It's somewhere in that area. And you have race wars out in the Coachella Valley, Palm Springs area. And yet all of this is happening like in the same afternoon. That's wild. That's wild. I think it's wild because race wars doesn't feel like it's happening in the morning.
No, that was a weird thing that happened. It's definitely night when they leave that. We don't know what time of night, but like the racing is happening during the day, maybe into the evening, and then it's nighttime all of a sudden. And then they're like, we're going to go do the truck heist. The next thing, it's sunny. So the heist must be happening at like 6 a.m., 7 a.m. in the morning when the sun has come up.
And then how long is Brian and Mia, how long are they driving for trying to find them?
Yeah, they do make a comment about it. They are like, oh, they must be here, which is like 45 minutes away. Or like they do specifically say.
I like that Paul Walker impression.
Yeah, thanks. But they do have a moment where they're like, oh yeah, they're this far away. Right. If this is where it's supposed to be, which is a crazy lead that they have on them, but
yeah,
that's fine.
Yeah. Well, it's crazy because maybe it's because I grew up in the desert. So I feel like I understand this layout just a little bit, but the race wars happens. Then they have their cars parked. They have them parked by what looks like a water reserve, some big water tanks, which those are far and few between. Like those are spread out. They're not easy access, which is a good place to hide your car. So somehow they were able to get to this far off place to get those cars, to drive back to the 10, to meet the semi wherever it is, and yet that's still 40 minutes away from Brian and Mia, who Brian and Mia get in their car not that long after them. Were they driving in the wrong direction?
Yeah.
What were they doing?
They went the wrong way. Yeah, I don't know. And
there's just a couple plot holes in that area where it's just like, none of this makes sense. I'm intrigued. I'm in it. But if I take 1 minute to think about it, it doesn't make any sense.
I think they did it for film purposes, but it was also weird to have them driving at night and then all of a sudden the heist is daylight.
Right.
Like it doesn't make sense to do that heist during the day.
Yeah. It wouldn't have been filming wise, depending on when they were filming. If they tried to film in the morning, it would have been hard. The afternoon would be a lot better.
I think it was for lighting purposes.
Right.
It's the big like finale scene, or not finale, but it's the big heist. So they have to film it during the day so that it's easier to film and see all the things that are happening.
Race wars, everything that's happening in race wars looks better when there's a silhouette of the sun coming down. That's easy.
Yeah. I think the part that makes it a little bit weird is I'm pretty sure that they filmed the helicopter picking up Vince at sunset. So it does make it weird to be like, wait, is it sunset or is it the middle of the day? I don't know.
The desert, the best place where the sun makes no sense at all outside of whatever Native Americans were like, well, it starts there and it ends over here, had to have been in that particular desert because there are never any clouds.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Anyway, so plot holes at the end. Virtually every use of CGI is bad in this movie.
It's
bad.
So
ugly. It doesn't make any sense. There's one, maybe, I don't know. There was one part where they did the CGI engine where they were showing the NOS or something, whatever was.
Oh yeah,
there.
like they push the button and it like zooms into the mechanics of it.
That's cool. I feel like that started it, and they do that in like every movie now.
Mm-hmm.
But all the other CGI, when they try to make a car look sped up or whatever,
some of it looked like a flat 2D image of a car on top of a blurry background. It was pretty bad.
Well, and then I don't think people have the ability to see a movie and really grasp the physics of everything. But I do think that people have an eye when something looks wrong. Mm-hmm. When something looks really wrong. And how fast the blur was compared to how fast the cars are going and how far they're racing makes no sense at all. It makes no geometrical sense at all. And so it just pulls you out because you're like, these guys are going light speed and they're driving a quarter mile. So they should be done 2 minutes ago, but they're still racing somehow.
Mm-hmm.
LA's big. It's not that big. No. So that's just rough. The CGI's rough. Other aspects to show, oh man, that technique where you have a shot and the camera's moving and then another shot of basically the same shot fades in off of the off alignment to it, where they're like, it's supposed to show like confusing or like whatever it is. Every time they did that, it was like, freaking stop. Yes. It's not good. It doesn't do what you think it does. Stop it. Like it looked bad every time they did it.
I think the slow motion at the end when Brian and Dom are doing the race to get across the tracks before the train gets there. And it's like this weird, blurry slow motion that happens. And it's like, what is happening right now? This feels weird, and it feels like
they're going on a drug trip, not that intensity is building.
Yeah. And I think, it was. I
was expecting Mike Myers to come in and be like, woo, 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 woo. It didn't do the job.
Mm-hmm.
Other things I hated: fashion was bad. It was so bad.
That's not a problem of the movie, though. That's an issue of the 2000s.
Of our and slightly the previous generation. No, it's Gen X's fault. Screw them. Yeah. It's Gen X's fault.
Actually, you know whose fault it is? It's Fiona's fault from Josie and the Pussycats, because she was telling everybody that was what was in fashion.
Dang it. You're right. You're absolutely right. That is called a callback.
Hey. If this is your first episode, we talked about Josie and the Pussycats a few episodes ago, so go back and listen to that one.
Yeah, that one's fun. What else? Anything else that you disliked?
I kind of talking about plot stuff. the importance of the truck drivers really bothered me because
they put a lot of weight in that, huh?
They put so much weight in it, and the truck drivers are this faceless character.
There was a moment. There was a moment where I'm like, "Wait, are the truck drivers the villains?"
they kind of are.
They treated them like the villains
because I mean, okay, so imagine a different story where it's like, hey, we got to stop these criminals from doing it, or the criminals who like run the city are going to take matters into their own hands.
Right.
And instead it's, hey, we got to take care of the criminals, or the truck drivers are going to take matters into their own hands.
We got to take care of the criminals, or the truck drivers are going to murder them.
Yeah. And so it's one, crazy. Two, the fact that really the only thing we get is the FBI agent saying, hey, we got to do something quick, or the truckers are going to do something about it.
Right.
As if they're like talking to the truckers, and the truckers are like, listen, I know you're the FBI, but like, I'm going to shoot some gangsters. Like,
how exactly would they have done that too? That's what makes it confusing even more. It's like, yeah, the truck drivers are saying they're gonna put it into their own hands. Like, are you talking to the union? Is this what the union president's saying? Is this legal? Can the union say this?
Who are we talking about?
Who are we talking about?
And then like we get that last truck heist, and it's just kind of this faceless hand with a shotgun that it was funny. I was watching it and I was like, how is he reloading that? And then they showed us him reloading it. It's like, okay, I guess that's how he's doing it.
He's doing it in a very shaky way.
In one hand, I think I kind of liked the fact that there was no face to the truckers.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I felt like they put a lot of weight on something that didn't really feel as big as they were telling us it was.
Right. And
so when they go off to go and do that final heist, and Brian is like, well, I got to stop them. And so I'm just going to show all my cards.
Right.
I didn't feel the intensity of why he needed to do that. It felt like, why is all of a sudden he's just blowing his cover and saying, hey, I'm a cop and I need to go stop your brother.
You know what it would have been a really easy story plot that would have worked? The truck driver was an undercover cop. And then that's why he's shooting at him, because the cop is like tired of this shit or whatever, like whatever the excuse. But they could have done something like that. I don't know. Like, I get what you're saying, and I agree with you. Yeah. Anything else?
I don't know. Something that was interesting about this, I don't know if it's necessarily a good or bad thing, just more of something that I noted was this. It straddles the line of giving us a view into the culture, but also objectification of like, this is what people do in this kind of thing. And then there was like, oh, but like, let's spend a little bit of extra time ogling the women or these things. And it was just kind of an interesting thing.
I really had to, because I saw that and I was noticing that too. I mean, they literally had a scene of a wet t-shirt contest or something. I actually have no idea if it was a contest. They only showed one person doing it, so I don't know if there were others.
She won. I'm pretty sure.
And here's where I have to kind of even question myself of, there are events that occur where people do things where they sexualize themselves for the entertainment of others or for their own enjoyment. And I don't know where that line is. Like, I will say from my own brain capacity, my own neurodivergentness, I don't know how to suss the difference. So I just stay away from all of it.
Yeah.
But some of those things, especially like the dancing and how people were dressing, I'm like, I see how my freaking students are dressed.
Yeah.
It's not beyond imagination to think that people would dress in ways that they dressed in those, like, let's call them club scenes, because it feels like a club. It feels like a dance club scene. So there's that. And so, the camera's staying on him, whatever it is. I'm like, you're objectifying, and that's not good. But it's also like, this is kind of what the scene is.
Yeah. And that's why I don't want to call it this is something that I don't like about this film. It was just an interesting, like, in other movies that we've watched, there has been clear objectification that is like gross. And in this one, I had to like think about it. And I was like, you know what, they're showing us what the culture is. Like, and there are moments where it's like, oh, did we go a little farther? I don't know. But like, it's a fine line. It's a super fine line. I'm going to put it in, if you don't want to see it, don't see it. If it doesn't bug you, it doesn't bug you. I don't know where. Don't watch it with your parents. Did I ever tell you a movie I had my mom go take me to that I didn't realize was going to be as bad as it was? I don't know if you've told me this or not. Hold on. Let me just see when it came out so I can see how old I was. I was 12. Oh boy. And I somehow convinced my mom to take me to go watch Scary Movie. And my mom, she's gone now, so I can say what I want. That got really dark. But she, I don't know how to say this without making it sound mean or weird or whatever. She was like one of the most sexually repressed people I've ever met in my life. So she had no issue calling someone like a skank or something like that. Like, she was not great at that life. So with that being said, not the best candidate to go watch Scary Movie with a 12-year-old. And she laughed throughout a lot of it, and I was laughing too. And then at the end of it, we went out and just deadpan very seriously. She was like, if you ever take me to one of those things again, I'll kill you. And I was like, I thought you enjoyed it. Anyway, so don't go watch Scary Movie with your parents when you're 12. Yeah. Since we're on the topic, the experience that I had with that was, I was like 15 or 16. My best friend's younger brother had just turned 13, and for his 13th birthday, he was like, I want to go watch like an R-rated movie. And so we went with their mom, and it was 300. Oh no. There are some very visual scenes in 300, and it's very violent, but also there's like nudity in it, right? There's violence, and there's at least one, if not two, scenes of like very much nudity, and all of us were like, oh no. Violence and repressive parents, not that big a deal. Nudity and repressive parents, I'd rather you stab me in the stomach. Like, it just, there's such an awkward vibe with it that I just can't. Whatever neurodivergent thing that goes wrong in my brain, awkwardness is like, you could put me on stage and I can act like an idiot,
and I'm fine. I don't feel any kind of nervousness. I don't feel anything. You put me in an awkward situation, I want to throw up. Like, I feel so, I feel so gross. And that kind of, like, someone who, whether it's, religious piety or just belief that sex is bad, whatever it is, and then having something that is clearly sexual, and you're just like,
yeah.
Someone, bomb threat? Can we have a bomb threat? Can that happen? Can we evacuate? Someone set a fire. I need to get out of here now.
Yeah.
Anyway, I do declare, bringing it back. There are those scenes. I don't know. It's up to the judgment. Someone could give me a good argument for either side, but it does feel like it's a club scene.
Yeah.
Are you going to see half-naked men and women at a club? Maybe. I don't know. It depends on the club. It's not out of the realm of possibility. So it's like, nah. My biggest issue with that kind of thing is they do not clarify enough Mia. I don't know how old she's supposed to be. And
she's somehow like a teenager in the way that she acts, but also like 23.
Right. She's doing homework in a scene.
Was she doing homework?
Yeah, when Brian and Dom come, she is in her room doing homework while everyone else is partying. Now, she could be doing college work, which is totally fine. But because Jordana Brewster is she's small. She's a small woman, and she looks really young. She was only 21 when they filmed that. She looks so young, and they never clarify it. So you're just assuming. You're just like, I hope she's not a senior in high school.
Yeah.
Like, it's fair to assume she's a college student. That's fair. Brian, it's ambiguous how old he is, but he seems to be playing like 24, 25. So college student, 25-year-old, not that weird. But then you're looking at it and you're like, oh, he's 10 years older than Jordana Brewster. So that's a little weird. I mean, they're both adults, so there's that. But they don't clarify enough in the movie. So throughout the whole thing, every time, especially the scene where they do have sex, I'm just like, cool. They've really strengthened their she's in college, right? Like, she's 20, right? She's also drinking, I think. I think she drinks. So I'm just like, she's of age, right? She's 21. How many illegal things
she was
are
just
we
drinking
doing?
a Snapple.
Yeah. That was okay. That freaking blew my mind when he got a drink and it was a Snapple, but it was the glass bottle, and I was like, "Oh gosh, glass bottle Snapples.
Bottles. They were so good."
Oh man, they made it better. I don't know how, but they made it better.
I just looked it up because I was curious if there was anything about it. According to the wiki, she would have been 20 years old.
Okay.
So got that cleared up.
Fine. That's fine. Yeah, I was trying to, there was that like lingering camera on some of the women dancing or whatever, and
it's just it's a thing that happens.
I'm stupid. I'm male stupid. I know there's like a thing that I've heard around on TikTok called like the woman's gaze of like,
oh yeah.
And I feel like sometimes that is the camera just does the men's gaze for the sake of doing it. And the movie can do without it. Does it need it? No. They did it. I don't know how I feel about it. I don't like it. Like I'm not. I would rather have movies without it. But someone could have an argument saying that it's innocuous at best. Like I or at worst. So
Yeah.
I don't know how I feel about it. I don't want to be too. I feel like we make this complaint often, so I don't want to feel like too much of a prude. Like, do whatever you want. I don't care. I just want to make sure that if something like that is there, it is under the impression that all participants are willing and want to be a part of it.
Yeah, and that's. I mean, we kind of. When I was thinking about bringing it, I think we've talked about it more than I was anticipating us talking about it. But it was like, as I was thinking about it and wrote it down as just kind of this is an interesting thing of like the line that it's on is, like one, I don't want that to be the thing that we're always talking about because we've talked about it quite a bit in other ones that rightfully deserve that kind of commentary. But it is an interesting thing of like at some point we're gonna have to just be like, yep, that happens, and now let's let's move on.
And I wonder if the line is like, is it voyeuristic or is it just for the sake of showing the culture?
Yeah,
like the lingering happens because they're showing portions of the culture, and it just happens to have a woman's butt in it. Like that's there.
Yeah.
But they also like objectify the guys a lot too. Like Vin Diesel, he's always like buff, and Paul Walker, God, man, I would have kissed him. Like he is they make it. Do you think they use CGI on his eyes? Because if you really watch some of these scenes, his eyes look so blue. Like
I don't think it would be CG, but they could have like upped the saturation on his eyes.
But it seems to be just his eyes. I was going to say his eyes look ungodly, but I want to say like his eyes look godly. Like he looks. If you watch this movie, pay attention to his eyes, because there are some scenes where you're looking at it and you're like, there is no way a human has that blue of eyes. And maybe he did. I don't know, but I didn't research. Because I don't want the image broken, you know. But they do. They don't objectify him per se, but they do make it out to be like, look at this really good looking guy. And they do it a bit. So there's that. But if the camera was doing it in a way where it was like, this person doesn't know that they're getting filmed. There's that aspect of it of like, you know what I don't know how to explain it more.
I think this one, similar to how the last movie and this movie, I feel like it is more of it's part of the culture. It's not we're putting it in the movie for the sake of look boobs or look shirtless guy. And I think like when I'm watching movies, even when they have the slow pan of a guy pulling off a shirt and it's rippling like even that is like, okay, we've got a little bit, we know that Thor is buff. Do we have to watch him in slow motion walk out of a pool I
don't think,
you know what I'm saying?
And it's, body shaming, because I don't think they ever did that when he was fat.
Yeah.
Rude.
Let's get
very rude.
Let's get slob Thor walking out of a pool in slow motion, glistening.
Amen. You're gonna make a giant population of, I don't know, 34 to 46-year-old women and men and everything in between really happy. Okay.
Yeah, I think basically
I get
my
what you're
point.
saying. I'm derailing you.
Yeah, to wrap up this portion is to say, if it has a purpose, then keep it in. But if it doesn't have a purpose of building the world or telling the story that is being told, then it becomes more gratuitous than purposeful. Then that's where my issue usually lies with these types of things.
Yeah, absolutely. Any quotes? You know what? I have to say, quote wise, I have a few that like stand out to me, but with the Fast and Furious, there really is this weird thing as the series goes along. The quotes get cornier, I guess you could say. Like, it's all about family, like whatever it is. But when he was saying certain things in this movie that would be in the same category, they didn't feel as corny.
Mm-hmm.
Like the idea of I live my life a quarter mile at a time. And then, nothing else matters. Not the mortgage, not the store, not my team, all their bullshit. For those 10 seconds or less, I'm free.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you really connect with him in that moment. It's not cheesy. It's not corny. It's like, I get it. I feel you. I've never raced a day in my life, but I kind of get that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'm trying to think.
Yeah. I feel like that's like the line that sticks out, and it's the line that they wanted to stick out.
Yeah, because they put it
made us
everywhere.
hear it twice if you watch the end credit scene. Also, end credit scene. It didn't tell us much other than the fact that he was living La Vida Loca.
There's an end credit scene?
Yeah, there's an end credit scene. Did you not watch it?
Did I not watch it? Wait.
It's not very exciting. It's
where did you watch it?
At the end of the movie.
No. Where? What website?
Oh, what did I watch it on?
Did you watch it on Universal on Peacock?
No, I think I watched it. I don't know. Netflix? I don't know.
You watched it somewhere. Okay.
I watched it on Netflix, I think. But at the end of the credits.
Oh, Mother Trucker, there is an end credit.
There's a scene where it's Mexico, and you hear that dialogue again of the like, I live my life a quarter mile at a time. And he's saying that whole thing, and then it shows him driving in the red car down a dirt road. So that's it. But it's just giving the idea of he kind of made it to, they wanted to live in Mexico.
And he was able to do it.
And he was able to do it.
You know how many times he does that throughout the series? He does that like 8 times.
All the time. Every time.
Every time. He like
gets, that's the dream.
We've done our dream. And then the next episode comes up and he's like, oh, we got to go do this thing. I didn't think
they're pulling me back one more time.
He's one day from retirement. Yeah. I don't know. Some of the lines are kind of cringe.
Yeah, there wasn't really anything that was like, oh, that's a good line. Either
this is not a quotable movie.
No.
It's really not. Not at all.
And there's not really any dialogue that makes you think. There's not anything that's like, oh man, that's really insightful.
Yeah. Yeah. No, you're right. Yeah. Anyway. Now it's time for the Review Rewind, where we take a look at a positive review and a negative review, and we see where we fall. Metacritic gave this a 55%. Rotten Tomato gave it a 74%. Rotten Tomato audience, that's not right. Oh, fudge. What? I'm having a stroke. All right, there it is. Sorry about that. 74%. I was looking at that and I'm like, no, they thought it was positive. So 74%.
Oh, there we go.
And then IMDb audience is 6.8. So we got a short and sweet one from the Wall Street Journal. Tristan, take it away.
They gave it a 90 and said shrewdly conceived, confidently executed, and outrageously entertaining.
I don't think outrageously entertaining. I think this movie was way more dramatic than I remember it being.
Yeah, it's pretty dramatic.
And then our negative review is a 20% from the Washington Post. The Fast and the Furious is rebel without a cause, without a cause. The young and the restless with gas fumes. The quick and the dead with skid marks. That's kind of funny. What kind of skid marks? That's the question.
Yeah. Maybe a little bit of both.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Because he did give it a 20.
Yeah. He's mean. Where do you fall?
I think as from a critical standpoint, I give it a C-.
Yeah.
But I enjoyed it so much more than I anticipated. And I'm kind of mad about it. You might say
you could do that.
I'm furious about it.
Zing. Zing. You could be surprisingly entertained by a C-.
Mm-hmm.
That's fair. I give it a C. I give it a C. I think it accomplished what it was trying to accomplish. It did a lot better than it probably hoped for. And with all its raging flaws, let's just say it like this. It's a pretty put together essay with a lot of grammatical errors. Like the story's good, the character development's good, all of that. You know, they just forget a couple commas, a couple periods, misspell one or two things. No big deal. I got to mark it. I have to, because, you know, what are we doing if we don't? But I'm going to give you a lot of credit because, you know, it was entertaining and you did what you were hoping for. I'm sure when they finished this, they felt like they accomplished what they were hoping they would accomplish.
Yeah.
And again, in 2001, I think we would have had a completely different opinion about the CGI and stuff like that.
For sure.
But there's a lot of things that just didn't age well.
Mm-hmm.
And we've got a 2024 lens, and this sucks to suck, but we kind of got to give it by that perspective. Yeah. I think a C. So we're kind of in the middle. Go watch it. Once it gets to Race Wars, if you don't want to see a wet t-shirt and bums, like booties, not the others. Avoid that first portion of Race Wars, but
yeah, and it's not long, honestly.
It's not. It's so much shorter than it. But here's the thing: it's an hour and 47 minutes. It feels longer.
It does.
It feels long at some points. You could have cut about 17 minutes out of this movie, and it still would have been just as good.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not that long. If you're trying to watch the whole series, I do actually think you need to watch this one. I have about face on that because
it really does introduce the idea of Dom and a family.
It does. It does it in a good way. It does introduce this relationship with Brian and Dom and Brian and Mia and Letty and Dom. It does kind of connect this world together, and it connects them to their relationship with like crime.
Mm-hmm.
Because they don't have, it doesn't feel like they're doing it for crime's sake, which
right.
I don't know if that's a get out of jail free card or not, but I feel like credit should go to them for figuring out how to do that way and introduce that in a way that doesn't make them seem like horrible criminals. It feels like it did it and it accomplished it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so go watch it. It's fun. It's fun. You'll have fun. We'll all have fun. I don't know if we'll all have fun, but thank you again, listener, for listening and doing your thing. You can go check us out on social media. We post stuff sometimes, but the best thing you can do is subscribe to us on whatever you listen to us on. Share it, enjoy it, send us feedback. But I want you to remember to, shoot. Review those rewinds, and we'll see you next time. Bye.